rest of the universe, it is Sunday, and we are 1 hour and 8 minutes away from finding out if they're going to actually open the COMEX, or are we going to have another event as we had on Thanksgiving where the COMEX is magically going to overheat for the first time. Now it won't be the first time. Now it'll be the second time that it overheats. And they did that on Thanksgiving because the market's doing exactly what it's doing right now. Or is this the day that we find out that there's no combating the US dollar completely falling? If we see prices surge to $90 an ounce by tomorrow at noon, then y'all better go get your IRAs, go get them cashed out, go get all the physical silver and gold you can in your hands. Right, Shaw's Mining? Say, this is the countdown. Shit's about to get real. You hear me? Hey, God bless. Hey, how you doing today, bro? Hey, I was on the phone with an old head stacker that I respect. But we've got different outlooks on what's to come. And this is the thing. Y'all, if they do what they want to and Taiwan pushes silver to $150 an ounce within the next 3 days, what that's going to mean is this. I'm just going to let you know this. That's going to mean that the smallest shelf I have is going to make me an automatic person that has, I'll be in a whole different class of wealth, right? So, Shaw says, freezing my butt off. Hey, Mr. Richard Metcalf, how are you doing? So the rest of you stackers should be happy about it, but here's what's going to happen. Now, I was talking with someone, and they were like, hey, when this gets to this price, I want to liquidate it. I want to liquidate it right then. They got some goals in mind, some stuff they're wanting to achieve, and they're wanting to flip it into cash as soon as it hits that high point. Well, good luck, y'all, because let me tell you this. I've had dealers around me, brick and mortars. The other day, one was ready to sell me the whole shop for 15% below melt on everything in it. You hear me, Mr. Richard? They can't sell it to refineries right now. JM Bullion, all the other ones online that's buying, AmpMax, the rest of them, they're not going to give you melt. You know what I mean? So go ahead and get that shit out your head. That ain't going to happen. And the higher and the faster they drive the price of this stuff, the harder it's going to be for you to cash it in. Fact. Mr. Richard, it's a fact. We've got 1 hour and 5 minutes to see how this plays out. Either the COMEX crashes like it did on Thanksgiving when the computer overheated, amazingly enough. You know what I mean? We got Elon Musk on our team, and he can send rockets to outer space, but we can't figure out how to get a computer to not cool, how not to overheat. So, okay. But anyways, either that's going to happen so that they can buy Sunday night to get their shit together for Monday morning's market opening. What they can't stop, Mr. Richard, is Monday morning's market opening. You know what I mean? Now, here's the problem, y'all. If you are able to look at the Asian market right now, I want you to go look at it before the U.S. market opens up in 1 hour and 4 minutes, okay? Go over there and go look at the Asian market right now. The Asian market right now is currently trading silver at $92 an ounce. $92 an ounce, okay? The U.S. closed the market at $79 an ounce. Most of y'all can do math, right? Do you see that gap? That gap has to be filled somewhere. So now here's the $1 million question. Do they fill that gap by shortcutting silver, undercutting it, knocking it back down to the 70 mark worldwide. Now, I've been telling y'all about the transfer of wealth between China and the US during the markets for the last year and something. I've been seeing the numbers. Now the numbers are becoming obvious to everyone. So what is going to happen in exactly 1 hour and 7 minutes when our market opens up? Is it going to be the true market? Because right now, by the way, London no longer has the control of precious metals. Asia, for fact, has the most precious metals. They control the market at this point. It's not the United States. It's not our friend London over here that we escaped from and gave our gold back to. It's Asia. It's the BRICS Bank. The same thing that I was telling y'all to be aware of, that this shit was going down, it's went down. And how you can tell it's went down is we've got a country right now that is panicking when we start raiding oil rigs off of Venezuela because we're mad at them because they're on the BRICS nation. You know what I mean? Trump threatened it, and then he went after him over an oil rig. Wow. That is a show of desperation, nothing else. Meanwhile, that's not going to help our economy, and it's not going to help. Look, what's not going to help is this. They're going to skyrocket gold to about $5,000 an ounce. They're going to skyrocket silver to somewhere around $100 an ounce, and ain't none of y'all going to be able to sell it to anybody. Not at that price. Ain't nobody wants to buy it at that price. You know why every brick and mortar shop within 100 miles of Oklahoma City has got a hold of me? Because I'm one of the only people still buying in bulk. They can't sell the shit that they got, you hear me? Yeah. Well, this is the thing, though. They're not doing that anymore, Mr. Richard. Guess why? China and all the rest of them over there in Asia said no more exporting. They got a hold of Mexico, who we also pissed on, and they said no more exporting. Guess where they're not exporting to? The United States. And they're trading with one another. They cutting the U.S. out of it. They about to crush the U.S. dollar. You all are watching it in live time. This is how you choke out a country's economy. Right now, it's going down. You hear me? Hey, if I would have had enough control and power to have had a country and a good army behind me, I would have pulled the trigger on this choke out move 3 years ago while Biden was in office. See, that would have made more sense. Trump is a fighter. He's going to go at them just like he just went at Venezuela. He's going to go, attack their oil rigs and do some more shit. But they ain't worried about that. The numbers are there, and they see it in live time just like you're seeing it. There's no fighting the power that is, and that is precious metals and money. And right now in the world, precious metals is money. You're seeing it happen in live time, that we're going back to a time that whoever holds the most precious metals, they're the ones calling the shots. And it's not London anymore. It's not the United States. It is definitely Asia, Russia, and the other 27 countries that signed up with the BRICS nation. Fact. They now control the majority market of silver and gold. They are the world's heaviest holders in that asset. So now their physical trade and what they're selling it for is what the real market is. And in Asia, as of today, it's selling at $96 an ounce at one point. It dropped back down to $92 an ounce. And that's where it's at right now. So now what's going to happen in 1 hour when it opens up over here in the United States. If you all want to see manipulation at its finest, look at that. Because you can't deny it. You know what I mean? I don't know why this thing keeps saying add a Q&A sticker favorite thing to draw attention. I don't understand that. Margins calls by 13. So that is bearish for silver short term. They are trying to knock it down, but all they are doing is moving it from west to east. Yeah, but that's just it though, Richard. They truly aren't moving it west to east no more. Okay. The West said screw you, and they ain't giving it back to us. They ain't having it. So here's a crazy thing. There's so many people that don't even understand the politics behind the Gulf War. But you know how all that started, right? Geopolitical politics is how all that started. The U.S. and the other countries around it, we reevaluated gold and started talking about reevaluating gold. You know what happened? They had all this gold sitting over there. So then Iraq was like, I think we can slide over here into Kuwait. Or Kuwait was like, I think we can slide over here into Iraq with our little military. And they went and stole their gold. Truly, that's what happened. They didn't just attack them. They went and stole their gold. Like they hit their, what we would call our, even though we all know there ain't no gold there, Fort Knox. They just got their military together and they started hitting each other's compounds to steal the gold. That's what all that started over. So what do you think is going to happen when gold's right now at $4,500 an ounce? Mind you, back then gold was at like $1,200 an ounce, less than that actually, like $1,100 an ounce. So now it's already worth 5 times or 4 times more than it was. So now when they go to pushing silver up like this, hey, these other countries, they're going to get armies together and start raiding each other. You hear me? I'm thinking that I know for a fact I've hired more security for myself in the last week just because of the prices of precious metals. I got to have enough people around me to knock down everything in Oklahoma City that's going to come at me when this shit skyrockets. Because I've got my name and face all over the place around here advertising that I buy and sell this shit. So now you tell me if it hits $140 an ounce within 3 days that there ain't going to be a bunch of people ski masking up to go and start robbing places. You hear me? So the rest of y'all might want to think about that shit too. Believe this, I've got vest for me and my guys that's around me, because if this pops off the right way, shit is about to get real. You're going to have people hitting shops. You're going to have people hitting people's houses. It's going to get real quick too. That is an astronomical jump that's going to make people crazy. You hear me? And the rest of y'all out there listening, if you're a brick and mortar, or if you're one of these cats that's been over here on YouTube passing out your address and a bunch of motherfuckers know where you live like me, you better strap up, because I'm not the only one thinking that way. Not only am I going to protect my shit, but if I think you're vulnerable, I'm probably coming to take yours. You hear me? So, just saying, it's that time. Y'all better be watching that clock. You got exactly 1 hour to find out how this is going down. You hear me too? Meanwhile, there's a whole lot of people on a whole lot of platforms that put themselves way out there in deep water. Believe this, the waves are about to get choppy. And if you're not ready, well, you've got about 1 hour to get ready. Because this is either going to go one of two ways, or we're going to see Thanksgiving again, and the COMEX ain't going to open up because it's going to overheat. You hear me, Richard? Which means when it opens up on Monday, it's going to be violent when it opens up. So just be ready for that, because Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and the three other trillionaires that they have trying to level out the market with silver and gold, and you can see it happening when all of Tesla's stocks have hit rock bottom since they've been pushing all of their money to gold and silver. You hear me? They're the ones doing this shit. There's 5 of them. I've been telling you that. There's 5 trillionaires right now working with the United States to try to keep the US dollar afloat because they're invested in it. The rest of the other 27 countries that signed up with the BRICS nation, they are not invested in the United States at all. What they are invested in is the United States dollar collapsing. Because they know this, it's going to become complete anarchy quick as soon as gold hits $5,000 an ounce and as soon as silver hits $150 an ounce. We're going to have I'm serious when I say I hired 2 new people just to carry guns around me because of what's going on. If you don't think, if you're out here heavy pushing this stuff on the streets, that you ain't going to be a target as soon as you're worth a few $1,000,000 because of your stack, you better open up your eyes. That's all I'm telling you. Open up your eyes and know this. It's an amazing time to be a stacker. But while you're stacking and while you're buying this stuff, you got to think about how you're going to liquidate it. You cannot eat silver and gold. And if they keep pushing it up any higher, there just ain't a whole lot of people buying it, y'all. The only ones that's buying it right now are panicking, thinking it's going to go to the moon and they might miss out. Everybody else is sitting around waiting for it to crash out. Or else they want to play games to win it for, part of the money it's worth. Meanwhile, if you've been watching my whatnot at all, you'll notice that I ain't even been running games. I'm doing auctions. I'm selling $100 ounces, and if you don't want to buy it at $100, I'm not selling it to you right now. Why would I, when the chances are in 1 hour the market's going to open up, and it'll be worth more than that anyway? So I don't know. I don't know what you do with it at this point, Mr. Richard. All I can tell you is this: you can't eat it. And that book that I like to read called the Bible, it says in the end days that money and gold will be worth nothing. You won't be able to sell it. Just saying. It sounds eerily like what we're about to reach if we keep inflating the prices of this shit. Meanwhile, hyperinflation is real, and as soon as gold hits $5,000 an ounce, you're going to see hyperinflation like you've never seen it in our lifetime. You're going to be at a gas station paying $700 a gallon. $7 a gallon for gas. You're going to be at Walmart paying $10 a gallon for milk. Everything will go up astronomically. So all the money you would have made off of your stack being worth more, you're going to spend in expenses. Just a fact. Meanwhile, good luck trying to sell that stuff when there ain't a refinery or no one else around buying it. And eventually, APMEX and them's pockets are going to run out too. Those of us buying, our pockets are only so deep. Trust me, I'm running out of pocket room. I've got a show shoved full of silver and gold right now. And my buddy Dobbs from the shop, all the months, Dobbs, that you were telling me, Jeff, you're a silver and gold hoarder. You just keep buying it and stacking it up. Bet I ain't looking so silly now, huh? Richard Dobbs is all the time telling me, he's like, man, you just got to sell that stuff. Quit hanging on to it. Just let it go. See, that's the stacker in me that said, no, I'm not going to let it go at dirt cheap prices whenever I knew it was going to be worth more. Now there's the numismatic person in me that's also a collector that is just blown away with what's going on. And at a time where we see metals at an all-time high, we've got the United States wanting to replicate more coins from the past. Oh my God. Can we stop doing that, please? Can we just make some new coins or make the old coins like they used to be, like 90% silver with the same kind of weight and the same kind of. I don't like reproduct. Them are fake Morgans. That anything past, yeah, I just don't like it. I don't like the reproduction of the flowing hair. That's crazy. We don't. By the way, them are 90% coins. They should never be made out of 4/9 fine and 3/9 fine silver. It's just not a thing. You know the reason why they did that, Richard, is so when the government seizes your silver, it's easier for them to melt it down. As a refiner, I have to work my ass off to get your 90% silver back to 999 again. So the US government wants to cut that out, and they want to be able to reposition the silver back into whole silver again without having to pay refiners to do so. So we'll just start making it out of all 999 so that way we can just, you know what I mean? It makes perfect sense, Richard. Perfect sense. I mean, in a business floor mat, they're doing a great thing. But are they doing a great thing for you, the people, or for themselves? Because, like I said, you can see the money come out of Elon Musk, and you can see it out of the stocks that Trump has openly admitted being invested in, and in his other business ventures. You can see where they've pulled the money out of that and put into silver and gold. And when they were running this game for the last 3 months of pulling it out and then pushing it back into Tesla and back into Bitcoin and doing the thing back and forth, why do you think he just passed this bill saying that they can use Bitcoin, that they could seize it? Because also, people like me that are ex-drug dealers been on the internet talking about how we use Bitcoin to move money from other countries. You know what I mean? And he's like, okay, we'll use that for an excuse to seize the Bitcoin, when really that's not it at all. They just don't want you to see what they're doing with their money. It's already theirs. Do you really believe it would be a smart move for the U.S. government to stick our treasury money into an invisible identity like Bitcoin if we couldn't figure out where in the hell it was physically at? If we didn't have a way of manipulating it? Richard, the U.S. government doesn't partake in anything that it cannot manipulate. It just don't. The only friends we have as the U.S. government are countries that let us manipulate them. The Philippines. You know what I mean? Let's get real here. We've got a limited resource around us with countries that let us screw them over constantly. And we use them. They use us for safety. We use them for everything else, like child labor and plastic toys that fall apart that we sell at Walmart. You know I'm telling the truth. That's why even the stuff with American flags on it that says made in America, then when you read the fine print, it says assembled in the Philippines. That's not made in America. That's made in the Philippines, cat. You know? And there's probably a 6-year-old over there in a basement somewhere putting it together. God bless. And Mr. Richard, you're 110% right. But here's the thing. It's for themselves in more than one way. Okay, now, in the shadows of the darkness is this digital currency that Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and some of these other intelligent folks was working on his last session. And it was going to be called the rainbow currency. It was going to be a digital currency. And the rainbow was supposed to represent a promise of real money. It was supposed to be backed by silver and gold. It was based off of what the BRICS Bank is based off of. And it was based and made to combat the BRICS Bank in order to keep the U.S. in charge. Because once we lose control of the dollar and we start trading in yangs or we start trading in silver and gold, we don't have control of the world anymore. Heaven forbid that happens. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, the 28 countries we've made enemies with are going to come knocking on our door. You know? And we only got so much military. Eventually, we're going to run out of ammunition. They ain't going to run out of bodies of throwing at us. Believe that. I think we figured that out in Vietnam. We figured that out in World War I and II. That, hey, these other countries, they will just throw bodies at you. You hear me? If they get it shut down to where we can't source out ammunition or the other shit we need to make these Patriot missiles, all the silver that they're throwing into them, we're going to have an issue. That's all I'm saying. And we might already have an issue because I think right now the U.S. is trying to buy more silver. What they're saying it's for is for the Patriot missiles that they need to make more of. So, I don't know, y'all. We're about to find out, though, we're about to find out in like 45 minutes, Mr. Richard. In 45 minutes, we're going to flip a coin and see, does the COMEX actually work? Or is it broken like it was on Thanksgiving? And see, that's like the elephant in the room that no one wants to talk about, right? What happened on Thanksgiving? How did the computers that run the COMEX magically overheat when silver was on a rise like it's not ever been on before until right now? That's how they stopped it on Thanksgiving, was the COMEX overheated. The computers shut down. So we're about to find out in about 45 minutes exactly how they're going to handle it this time, because we're back to the same position they were in then. Either they're going to have to level up the price of silver in the United States and in the Eastern market to match what's going on in the West, or else, yeah, we're in trouble. That's all it comes down to. We shouldn't have been printing more money, more paper money than what we had real money. That's what happened. We started printing lies. As an ex-drug dealer, Richard, I used to front people things. You know what I mean? Hey, as a silver dealer, I front people things now. I front them silver and gold. I charge them a certain percent of interest and I expect it back on time. You know what I mean? So what do you think these other countries are doing right now with the silver and gold? Who do you think these central banks are going to have to borrow it from on Monday when everybody that's bought paper IRAs see that they have doubled or tripled their money and they go to cash it in, Mr. Richard? Oh, well, let me tell you already, JP Morgan already has people on hold waiting for their stuff. They ran out. They don't have any more to give out. You know what I mean? So for those of you that's been stacking your silver up in paper IRAs, that was a foolish move. You better go get some physical silver and gold. Well, Mr. Richard, if you see a correction at all, it's going to stay where it was at, and we're going to try to take off from there. So here is the problem with that. The rest of the world, not everybody's idiots. I'll admit this. Mr. Richard, you're a smart one. We've got 3 other smart people in here with you listening to this conversation, and every one of y'all can do math. Do you know how many idiots I see on YouTube and whatnot playing games that they stand like a umpteen chance and none of winning the shit, and they're overpaying for it? It's like they can't do math. You know what I mean? So they're going to keep on doing it. Them are the only people you're going to be able to sell to. They ain't no brick and mortar around here anywhere that's paying anywhere close to melt right now. They just won't because they can't offload it. Do you see the problem? They can make it worth $1 million, but if no one wants to spend $1 million on it, how in the hell are you going to get the $1 million out of it? You know, this is the reality that we're sitting in. Fact, last night I sat on Whatnot and sold silver under melt once you take out my 10% fees, and that still was at $90 an ounce. You know what I mean? Mr. Richard, you know how much silver I bought at $90 an ounce? None. What the heck? Mr. Richard, I did buy several ounces of silver yesterday and the day before, and guess what I paid for them? $55 an ounce. So, and when I say several, I meant I bought like $70 or 70 ounces of silver. When it was at $79 an ounce, I bought them at $55 an ounce. Fact. That's what the other dealers around me are doing also. So guess what we're doing with it? We're sitting on it because we can't sell the shit to anybody else. Ain't no one else wanting to pay up for it either. So the only way we're going to be able to offload this is if they push it to 200 and then we sell it at half price. Then I'll sell you $100 ounces when spot price hits 200. Meanwhile, Mr. Richard, you know what we got to do? On Whatnot, I've been telling them about this too. The fees over there in Whatnot world, it kills you sometimes, right? So here's the thing. We're going to be, more and more of the Whatnotters have been following on the YouTube channel, have been subscribing. We're going to pop back over here and we're going to do some more things on YouTube again. Now, it's going to look a little different because I don't use StreamYards anymore. Haven't used StreamYards in umpteen months because, well, told them jokers I wasn't paying $80-some a month when I truly don't, I don't want to participate with the other idiots on YouTube, man. I don't like it. I don't even consider it competition when I just see them cheating people. So I have an issue with it. So when we come back to YouTube, you can believe this. We're not going to be competing with them other YouTube channels. We're not even going to be watching them other YouTube channels. I don't watch them now the way it is. When other people try to tell me about what's going on YouTube, I tell them I don't care. I don't want to know. I don't. Mr. Richard, there is a handful of you that's part of the YouTube coin community that's worth the shit. The rest of the community are just absolute leeches. They're succubus, and it's not something I want to be a part of. You know what I mean? I gave them as much as I'm going to give them. I let them steal from me enough the way it was, and at the end of it all, it'll probably get some of them lifeless. But that's neither here nor there. The more the price of silver goes up, the more incentive I have to send folks after the money that they owe me. So that's the way this gets, Mr. Richard. Believe that. It's going to make other people think that same way because now I'm thinking some of these people that wanted to play me wrong, wanted to talk shit on me, I know where they live. I know where their stack's at. You hear me? It's almost becoming worth my time and money to start, I don't know, putting my folks in bulletproof vests and putting pew-pews in their hands and sending them out to get that silver and gold for me. You know what I mean? So, if you're one of them ones on YouTube that still owe me money, you might want to pay attention to this video. Because, yeah, whatever you got in your stack might eventually become worth me coming and getting and putting in mine to pay back what you owe me. Whoosh. How in the heck are you doing? 24. Hey, how in the world is things going there? At 24 swoosh gram 24. Well, hey, I don't know that emoji, but it's nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. You're gonna have to tell me like a name to go with that deal. I have no idea. Y'all on YouTube done change your emojis. I think I'm the only one that still got the same emoji half the time. Mr. Richard's still an R. Choose still just a C. All right, y'all. So here's my question. Are y'all ready for what's about to happen in the next, I don't know, 20 some minutes? I'm going to get off here so I can watch it in live time because I've got deals being made and I've got buttons waiting to be pushed. And I'm waiting to push the button until after I see what unfolds here in a few minutes. The rest of y'all, I want to tell you this. God loves you. Most important thing you're going to hear from anybody ever is that Jesus Christ is real. He died on a cross for you. You just celebrated his birthday. And yeah, put that in your heart and know it's real. Meanwhile, I wish you all the best in luck. It's like rolling the dice. Some of us are about to become millionaires times over. And yeah, the rest of y'all better grab it when you can. Good luck and get ready. I hope you've been stacking that brass and copper as heavy as you've been stacking that silver and gold because it's about to all be necessary. All right, y'all. Stay straight. Keep your heads up, your feet down. Keep reaching for them stars and keep stacking that silver and gold. I'll see you in the next one. We got an auction tonight over on Whatnot. Come grab some of that expensive ass silver and gold. We got some for you. All right, y'all. Bye.